So when you look at some of the things that we covered within the training, were there any
Mhm.
like specific, you've talked about a couple of takeaways, but really big
Yeah.
takeaways for you or tools that you found most valuable in your work?
Yeah. So one of the things that I definitely love that we've spent a ton of time on is how divorce actually affects children as well as the developmental stages of children. I think, unfortunately, a lot of times, professionals who work in this space maybe become a little bit desensitized over the years as to what we're actually working on, which is parenting plans and children's lives, right? These are not possessions, they are human beings with their own wants and needs, developmentally as well. A 4-year-old needs something different than a 14-year-old. So, really spending so much time on that as professionals to truly understand how a 14-year-old processes divorce,
Mm-hmm.
and what's really important for a parent to understand, and a professional, by the way, to understand, versus what a 4-year-old needs, right? And how that might impact when we're designing parenting plans, not just looking at the percentage of time sharing, but also what is best for this child from a developmental standpoint so that they feel the most safe and secure. I think a lot of the parents I work with, you ask them what's the component of a good childhood, right? Like the biggest component, most parents say safety and love. And
Mm-hmm.
so how do we make these children feel safe and loved within their new family dynamic? Like, that should be of paramount importance. And I think that's something really unique to this training, that we spent so much time really just talking about how the kids are processing what's happening, which so often is getting lost in the conversation. They're just like the side note on the time
Mm-hmm.
sharing percentage. These are the kids that are covered in this parenting plan, and we put initials a lot of times, not even full names. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
wait a minute. These are the people who are affected day in, day out by the decisions being made here. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And yet the most important people that are involved in the parenting plan aren't even in the room. And it's
Right.
so easy for them to get lost in that discussion. And I don't believe, and I imagine that your experience is the same, is that it's not that parents want to treat their children like an afterthought, but they get
No,
so
absolutely
caught up
not.
in the process. And I found many parents that are like, oh wow, we didn't even know that that was an option. We didn't even know that we could have conversations about, how we wanted to timeshare, or we didn't even know we could have conversations about how we transition the households, or it opens up a whole new world for them in terms of
Mhm.
possibilities.